of silence. Let's remember all of those who passed away during the month. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Pezza.
Here.
Ms. Cullen. Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Mr. Gorman.
Present.
Ms. Figueroa.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Petroci. Mr. Di Giuseppe.
Here. Okay, I'm going to open this meeting up to public participation. Anybody in the public would like to speak on this side of the room, go to the podium and state your name and address.
Good evening, Mr. President, Council. First, I just want to make sure my microphone is on. That would be my first thing. It is terrible to watch the council meetings and not hear what everyone is saying. It is very important. I wonder if there's some way that the gentleman who is recording these meetings could let someone up here know that, hey, so-and-so's mic
The
isn't on.
microphones work. The problem is when we're talking and council turns around this way, their mic is in front of them. So that's when you lose. If everybody would just focus on
Yes,
this
then we need
mic.
to do that, because what everyone says up here is very important. I want to hear it. It's just, to strain to the TV.
But that's the problem. It's not the microphone, it's us.
Okay.
It's human error.
Gotcha. That's one.
And we even tried to put a couple back here, so when they do turn it, but it's just normal to turn your chair around to talk.
Gotcha. I have a list of things. I'll try to run through it very quickly.
Want to state your name? And
Oh, yes.
also-
Thomas Huffnagel, 261 Madison Street, Bristol. The first would be, the last meeting that I watched, I want to make sure I got this correct, that we approved almost $300,000 for a crosswalk on Mill Street and Ratcliffe Street. Is that correct?
Mhm.
What exactly is that? That seems very excessive for a crosswalk. I've been through that intersection many times, in a car, walking, on a
Well,
bike.
it's not just a stripe, if that's what you're thinking. So.
I don't understand what else is
Problem
needed.
between the King George and the Cantina
Yes.
is so far apart that pedestrians, when they're walking, we have blinking stop signs and all, when that car comes around, so they're shortening the distance, so the curb is going to go out into the street on both sides, and it's also going to go out on the King George side over to the new condos. Our engineers are here if you want them to explain it, but.
I'll get to Gilmore
that's it.
Associates in a
Go ahead.
second. That just seems excessive to me. Over $250,000 for a crosswalk, that seems excessive.
Well,
When there's areas in this town that don't have crosswalks, that I think could use
Let me
it.
just explain to you, it's a grant that we applied for, that came in.
From the state of
through the
Pennsylvania?
State of Pennsylvania, it's no taxpayer money being.
But that is taxpayer money.
Well, it's, okay,
I mean, it is.
That's fine.
It's semantics. That is taxpayer money. It's just not money that the residents of Bristol Borough pay directly to this treasury. You understand what I'm saying? I know what a grant is, but. We'll get to PennDOT too in a second. They're on my list as well. The Grundy Museum, I like what they did there. I think it looked good before. The only thing that I don't like, and it's just my opinion, those tables and chairs.
okay.
I don't like, I mean, personally,
That's your opinion.
right, exactly, well, that's what I said. They're permanent, and they stay there all year long. Now, did the Historical Society, don't they have jurisdiction over that, and they gave approval for that? It just seems way out of place. But that, again, just my opinion.
Right.
Moving on to Green Lane. Where does that stand? That road is in serious need of repair. Not a complete rebuild. We don't need a study for 6 or 8 months, and we don't need to push it down the road, because right now we're even more jammed up with Randall Avenue gone. That just increases the traffic on Green Lane. That looks terrible. And that road could look so much better. Without a major, fix the sidewalks that are cracked. You know, on this side of the train tracks, those sidewalks are terrible. On the other side, I don't know, I guess that's private property. Is it all private property? PennDOT's just responsible for the road?
Can I chime in, Mr. President? So we've had many meetings down there, and I don't know how often you watch the meetings, but we've.
I did. I saw the last one. The guy said we had to find out where the water's coming from.
Yeah.
Who said that? What was his name?
So the problem with that road is that it is a state road, and on top of it is the railroad. And Amtrak, Conrail, the state don't get together on anything. We brought them all there to meet, and they are pushing to say that we are responsible for it. It's a state road, and
We're responsible for what?
We're responsible for the road and the sidewalks and things under the bridge. But that's not our position.
I'm old enough to remember when they installed that drainage system. It had to be the late 80s, early 1990s. And that was shut down for almost an entire summer. I can't remember exactly what year it was. And that's when he put that drainage system in. And I believe PennDOT failed to maintain that drainage system.
We agree with you.
There are many places around. I'm a truck driver, so I travel a lot in the tri-state area, that have this problem, that have water when it rains heavy and they have to deal with it. Some of them use like a train crossing gate, and instead of having to go out there, and put the roadblock signs up. I guess either someone goes and turns that on, it comes down and blocks up till the water recedes. So I don't think we're going to solve the water problem. It's been there a long time, and like I said, that's had to be 40 years ago they did that drainage system. I would recommend, in my uneducated opinion, the road be milled and paved, the sidewalks be replaced, the drainage system be cleaned out, and see that pardon me?
It just was cleaned.
Okay,
They
so
did it through the night.
They were there till 5 o'clock in the morning.
that's great, good news, I didn't know that. The bridge itself, that bridge can be made to look a little bit better. Now, I mean, when you look at the bridges, say that across Jefferson Avenue, Beaver Street, they're painting the concrete. They power wash and paint. That bridge to me looks like it's in good shape, like it's not falling down like some of the other bridges along the northeast corridor. Why not power wash it and have it painted?
We agree.
Put lights in that walking area.
We agree.
That looks scary as hell going down
It was
there.
one of our requests of them. They are being very difficult, and Mr. Dillon, to his credit, has been.
Then I believe.
Let me finish for a second. Mr. Dillon has been very forceful in his pushback against them to say, this is your responsibility. Unfortunately for us, we're dealing with pretty big conglomerates.
Then it may require a court action. We may have to take them to court.
You think it's easy?
No, I think it's a matter of filing paperwork in front of the court. You get in front of a judge and drag all these parties in and tell them, hey, look, this is what's going on. This is what it looks like, Your Honor. This is what's happening there. Add the fact that the Randall Avenue Bridge is now gone.
Yeah, it's an issue, without a doubt.
So there's something that has to be done there. We can't just throw our hands up in the air and say,
Well, we
can't.
didn't. We're not. We meet with them constant. We know we need lights, we know we need sidewalks, we know we need a road. They cleaned out the drains.
Okay.
The Bristol Township sidewalks are on the right, our sidewalks are on the left. Somebody else owns the bridge. So there's so many moving parts to this thing that it's not as easy as you say, this is what we need.
No, I don't think it's easy.
Everything you're saying, we know.
But there comes to a point, when you get to a point when these agencies are not going to do what they need to do. They're not going to do their responsibility. That's when you have to take them to court.
All right.
Further up Green Lane at Route 13, the markings on the road for the lanes are just about non-existent on our side. I always thought Bristol went to the Route 13, Bristol Borough. Well, as long as we got PennDOT on the phone begging them to do what they're supposed to do, they need to get out there and paint that. And I say that for one reason. Last week, I came home off of Route 13 North, right on the Green Lane. The car in front of me, there was no traffic coming up Green Lane, went into what would have been that left turn lane from Green Lane onto Route 13 South. Didn't know where they were. Thank God no one was coming the other way, because you can't see that lane. PennDOT needs to get out there. Someone needs to get out there and repaint that. That's not the borough. The train station. Are we going to get an upgraded train station like Croydon did years ago and like Levittown did more recently?
We're working on it.
What does that mean, we're working on it?
There
is a plan,
I met with them 2 years ago. They're putting $11 million into our train station.
It's taken them forever. They've been out there like
Well,
almost 2 years now. I mean, what are they doing? Okay.
Never mind, go ahead.
The fence along Garden Street. Now, that looks, to me, looks terrible. That fence, it's like a construction site fence. And if you look down, further down Radcliffe Street along, say, past the Randall Avenue Bridge in, near Paper Mill Village, they have that nice black one. The same one that they're using on Bath Street to temporarily protect their equipment, where they're redoing the bridge, it's that black wrought iron. Why can't they have that down Garden Street? That would look a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, we asked them to do that. All the stone is slid down the hill that they put in. Maria's been very successful.
I believe it.
in meeting
Then we
with
really, then you know who else? The other representatives have to get involved here. Brian Fitzpatrick, he needs to step up.
them. He is. He is.
And the state legislators as well, Tina Davis and as the state.
They are. In Santa
But I don't see
Sarah.
anything getting done. That's been that way for years. I remember the day they put that fence up.
Things take time. It doesn't happen overnight.
It's a fence along a couple of blocks. Okay. I understand that because that was what was said before when they first put it up. I remember when they first put it up. The Grundy Ice Skating Rink. They operate at night without the lights on in the parking lot. Is that an ordinance violation? Aren't they required to have lighting in that parking lot? I say that because I'll preface it with my son does play hockey there. I've been in there to pick him up, and now that it's dark earlier, there's no lights on in that parking lot.
Yeah, we don't have.
There are a lot of,
You would have to talk to them.
I've got nowhere with them. They have what appears to be an electrical access box on the sidewalk, kind of on the corner of the building where there's a box right now where you can put old hockey equipment. It's got plywood over it, and the plywood's caved in. And they said, that's why the lights don't work. Well, that looks like an electrical violation right there. It's got to be a code violation. Isn't that supposed to have like a hard plastic on top of it or steel? Not plywood. The code officer might want to go take a look at that. Also, the condition of their parking lot as it meets the sidewalk along Beaver Street. I understand that they went around to some houses some time ago and cited people for their sidewalks. Well, that is definitely a violation there. If you haven't seen it, you should take a walk through or a drive through when it's daylight, because if the lights aren't on in the parking lot, you're not going to see it. You'll feel it. The street sweeper. Is it possible that could run more than just the summer and spring? You could run that all year long, barring that it's not snow on the ground or raining, of course. But that could run all year long. And, you want to cut people a break, okay, well, it's March, and there's no snow, and the street sweeper technically hasn't started yet, so don't cut them a ticket, but let them see that we're still coming through and doing it.
We
And
do run it.
All year long?
Anytime it's nice out, they'll do the main roads and stuff like that.
Very good. The blacktop on the walking path. If I remember correctly, weren't we going to take bids earlier in the spring of this year to have that redone? Because again, if we're going to talk about tripping violations or sidewalks that are, there's probably close to 1,000 along that walking path.
Well, we fixed a lot of sections. We fixed, I don't know how many feet of walking path from the firehouse on Farragut Avenue all the way to Mill Street. We took out sections that were bad.
Okay.
What happens is the trees grow and the roots lift up
Right.
again, but all the bad sections were replaced.
Because there's still bad sections there.
Well, there may be more now, but we did take out a lot of blacktop and replace. I think from here, we took out what? 700-800 feet maybe?
Easy, just across the street.
Just
Couple
across
years
the
ago.
street.
Right. I'm not saying it's all bad. I know there's sections over here by the new houses that aren't, that's pretty good, but there's sections that are still bad, and they should be looked at. Paint on the curbs, that I would think would be a yearly thing. I see they're done down here at this end of town, and they look great. But we need to get up to the rest of the town, Harriman and stuff like that, and get those done.
My opinion is there shouldn't be any paint on the curbs, but go ahead.
Why wouldn't you want any paint on
As
the
soon as you
curbs?
paint them, the next day, they're dirty again,
It's okay.
you know?
It's what? I
All
make
right,
my
what-
bed,
what
I
you
make my
just
bed, I get
said-
out of it, I'm gonna make my bed
You just
tomorrow morning, I'm
said
gonna get back
is
in it
They should be painted again?
every year, at least, I would say twice a year.
I always thought we did paint them every year.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
well, they haven't been done up in Harriman in quite some time.
All right.
I guess, I don't know if everybody knows, the Wells Fargo Bank, the branch is gonna close.
You know,
I just found that out today.
you got a
So,
letter.
so that's something that, yeah, I mean, I don't, banks, big banks, you gotta watch them. I'd hate to see that building sit there, you know, starting February 8th and nothing in there. And just see it go and deteriorate, stuff like that. I don't think that's something that should happen. We should try to keep after them and make a decision, either put it on the market or what they're gonna do. Speaking of things on the market, the property at Route 13 and Bath Street, where the old Luke Oil used to be, that gas station, maybe entertain the idea of purchasing that property. Make it a green space as an entrance to the town.
Be a car lot.
Yes, it's already in.
It's already approved and they went to zoning.
A car lot? What do you mean a car lot? A used car?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I guess we
You're
could
not-
use that.
We know, go ahead.
No, I mean.
I don't know, you got a list of things that's just mind-boggling right now, but go ahead.
Why, you can't keep up? You know.
No, we understand what you're saying.
It's my Christmas list, Ralph.
Go ahead.
Jeez. I think that's it. In closing, just everybody knows tomorrow's election day and the people at home, and I just want everybody to know there's a write-in section throughout the state of Pennsylvania. I called the Bucks County Board of Elections. You can write anyone's name in there. If you look at it and you don't like the names that are on there, you don't have to pick one, or not pick one at all. Write your own name in there. You know? Write my name in there. As long as you get out and vote. You know what I'm saying? I think that's it.
Are we doing anything good?
You do a lot of things good.
Okay, just
I'm
wanted to
good.
know.
I keep informed. I don't show up all the time. Oh, the intersection, I heard the chief talk about this. This is the last one. The intersection of Monroe and, what is it, Farragut, right? So I saw when they put up those red things. I didn't like them either. I think they were up for about 12 hours and they took them all down. That didn't look right to me either. So, rattling my brain what to do. The light posts that we have throughout town, especially out here and down Pond Street and up to the little Wawa, they're black, the old-fashioned style. At the corner of the adult daycare, maybe run one up and out over that intersection and have a hanging red light there. You know, the 4 ways, flashing red.
They're still not gonna stop.
Well, hold on.
Sorry.
I think it's safer than what we have now. You have one stop sign that's like almost a block away, and it's called a 4-way. That's not safe. And then, bring up the lines, put the lines, paint the lines, have them there, you know what I mean, to lead everybody up to it. Put the flashers in the ground, those reflectors, rumble strips if you have to. I mean, it can be done. That doesn't seem like a lot. You know, I mean.
Just again.
Yes, go ahead.
We spent
Yes.
hours on end,
I know.
with traffic engineers and.
Oh, no more studies, please. No more offense, Gilmore, but no more
We're still
studies.
working on the best solutions, but nothing that we've come up with is better.
I don't think that,
Greg, I stood here, 7 years ago and talked about this.
Yeah.
And that
just to
damn
give
thing
you
has
my
changed.
opinion, Tom, I don't think the town has ever looked so good.
It does look good. No,
People that live in this town right now should be ecstatic about what we have and where we are
Well,
today.
I am.
From where we were. This council has worked, I can't even tell you the hours they put in.
All right,
Like
I'm not
you
saying
say-
anyone hasn't. I
you
don't
said
mean to
PennDOT on Green
infer
Lane.
that. I don't mean to
Let me
disrespect.
finish now.
Okay.
You said PennDOT on Green Lane. Like Greg said, when I tell you numerous meetings, 50 meetings.
So
Just
I don't
trying to
understand why
get
nothing's
just trying to
getting
get
done.
something done. We don't own it. So we have to
But
push
they're
them
saying
as-
we do.
No, they're not saying that. They're saying it's our responsibility.
But we're aware of everything you talked, like you said, that lot, we know it's gonna be a car lot.
That's a shame.
Well, they bought
I
it,
agree.
but there's nothing we can do
Right,
about it.
no, I'm not saying that. No, I am, Ralph, that's why when I come up here, I talk about the whole town.
Good.
I don't just talk about my section, because I
All right.
live in Bristol Borough, not just Harriman or Madison Street or whatever.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're very welcome. Thank you, everybody. See you.
Anybody else on this side of the room wanna speak on anything?
Let Carla talk. We're gonna let Carla talk. Carla's up for talk.
Dolly's Angels.
I didn't even think of that.
What, for the evening, my name is Carla Sloan. I own Bristol and Peaks Market. But I'm here because of the Thunderstroke. And I'm here with Ms. Sean from Naked
Sean Joy
Brewery
from Naked Brewing.
and our awesome event coordinator, Ms. Melissa. And we're just here to say thank you to our police officers, to
Fire and Rescue.
fire rescue,
And
you
council
guys. And
for allowing
council.
us
I
to do
mean,
Sunday stroll.
It was an awesome event, great season. We were able to allocate a lot of the money to different charities. And thanks to you and thanks to our coordinator, we were able to do all that. So just wanted to say thank you.
That's all.
I know one thing, you girls did a hell of a job.
Thank
And
you.
you put a lot of time in.
Thanks.
And I know you do it for most of, you're doing it for the town.
And next time you're down Mill Street and you start recording, go a little slower. I want to see the
Okay.
names of the truck.
I try to record every event and try to bring the town out in the community.
But we heard nothing but positive feedback about everything you guys are doing.
Just only as part of the committee, I'll have to say that as a business owner, I wanted to say thank you. Because a lot of my new customers have been from this event.
A lot of new people have come to the borough because of this event, and I feel like they've
That's what we
discovered
want.
how beautiful Bristol Borough is. So, thank you.
Can you go get that guy out there and tell him that?
Oh, he left.
As a business owner on the street, as well, it's a fantastic event, and you guys have really kept it well organized and always safe, and it's a really nice environment, and we really appreciate it. And I think it's important that people in the town know that you guys, and I think you should stress that as much as you can, how much you do reinvest in the money that is often raised from that into borough projects and borough.
I just want to say thank you for being so visible, because you're always there, you are, and at the events, and I see you, and you're always like, okay, I gotta get this, so thank you for also being visible.
Well, one of the purposes of this event is to give back to the business street. Because it's, a lot of the businesses, Greg knows, it's hard to get extra employees that day. And so we just want to put it back on the street. So whenever you guys need just anything, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you whenever we can.
Thank you.
You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, girl.
All right. Okay. Anybody else? That ends public participation. So before we get into anything, we're going to have a budget meeting. If anybody in the public is interested and they want to come and voice their opinion on Wednesday night at 7 p.m., we'll be meeting here. Council has their budgets to take home and look at them and make some suggestions, hopefully on Wednesday. I'll just give you a couple things while I'm talking. The street sweeper is going to end on Friday, November 17th. Once the weather gets cold, I know a lot of people don't want to move their car, but as I said to Tom, that the street sweeper does run around town on days that the weather's permitted, that they can go out and do something. The tree lighting is going to be on Friday, November 24th at 6 p.m., and the tree will be lit at 7.
Yeah, hold on 1 second about the time.
Okay, well, I'll let, you want to talk about it?
Yes, please.
All right, I'm only going by what was supposed to be on the paper. The Christmas parade will be on November 25th at 1 p.m. Rain day will be Sunday. Hopefully there's no rain. Put your blessed mothers in the window. I have talked to the school board president, Mr. Ciccoletti, in regards to the track behind the high school. We're trying to get a grant. The borough is going to apply for a grant for, what's it, $500,000? Close to $500,000? Yeah, about that. So we're trying to get a grant for $500,000. We're allowed to apply for it, the school board isn't. But if we're successful in getting the grant, and we usually are, it would help the school district dramatically. They don't have to spend almost $500,000 to redo the track, which is in dire need of getting redone. So again, we're putting some paperwork together, and Jim's working with the business manager there, and like I said, I'll stay in contact with the school board president.
There should be a resolution on the agenda next week.
Right. We're starting union negotiations for the non-uniform and the supervisors union on Thursday, November 16th. And the last thing is, I talked last week about Mascara putting a new recycle trash can in town. We don't have the exact system on how this is going to take place, but most likely on Recycle Day, which is on a Tuesday, they're going to come down the street with their truck, empty your recycle can, take the old one, and leave you a new one. That's the plan right now, but a lot of these cans, since they're a little bit bigger, people may not want them. So we're going to try to come up with a system that says, I want the new can or I don't want the new can. So we're going to try to make it as easy as possible, but nothing's going to take place until we all figure a way out to make it as easy as possible for the residents.
Excuse me, while we're doing that, maybe we could also put in place if one isn't out there, because I know a lot of people that don't have one.
Right.
I'm just saying, so they don't think, oh, they didn't put it out.
And I think Matt can put it on the TV if he doesn't have it already up. And they will be responsible if the lid breaks, if the wheels break, if something happens to it. Mascara will come out and replace that can.
That's good.
The borough has no liability on anything with this trash can. That's all I have. Mayor, what do you have?
I just have a couple things. So first, I'd like to also publicly thank the ladies for, your time and effort for Sunday Stroll. I was fortunate to attend a few of them, and, the exposure that it gives our town and the people that I'm friends with who come from out of town and say, I've never been here, I've never been there, just from coming to Sunday Stroll and experiencing it, the exposure's second to none. So I just publicly want to thank you for that, along with the people that run, historic Bristol Day and the other events throughout town, along with our, our chief and our emergency management coordinator, Merle Winslow. Their time and effort that they put into these events. People don't realize what it takes to put an event on. A lot of people are quick to criticize, but it takes a lot of planning, a lot of time, a lot of effort. So I want to thank everybody that's involved in all the events group on throughout town throughout the year. Our e-bikes have been on patrol. You may or may not have seen them, but they look great when they're throughout town. So the bike patrol has been out, which is, good, for the community, good for the children. If you see the e-bikes, we're just trying to make the streets safer than what they already are. Also, I want to talk about the fact that we had a meeting today on Trenton Avenue with Conrail. Their CEO, their high reps came out, met with myself, Councilman Pezza, Councilwoman Cullen, Mr. Dillon was there, Merle Winslow, Council President was there, and they are going to do everything they can to 100% eliminate the idling on Trenton Avenue with the engines and the switching that's taking place. There are no guarantees, but I couldn't be happier with the reception we got from them and the kind of communication you got from these people who came out to, Little Bristol Borough, when you consider the geography that they cover, to address our problems and concerns. So I was very happy with that meeting that happened today. Last thing I want to mention is, yes, tomorrow is Election Day. And myself, Councilman Catroci, Councilman Pezza, Brian, and our future councilman, hopefully, Lee Cousin, because Michael is retiring. We are on the ballot. We are unopposed. But a vote for us tomorrow is a vote of confidence for what you believe is taking place in this borough. I've only been the mayor for a little over a year, but everyone sitting here knows that I've been involved with every person in this group for over 20 years with campaigns and helping just to improve the town. And everyone here is collectively working to constantly improve the quality of life for each and every borough resident. So a vote tomorrow is a vote for the confidence in the direction of the town, and we ask you to come out and do your civic duty on Election Day. That's all I have.
Okay. Chief, you have anything?
I don't have anything this morning.
Greg?
A few things. So to reiterate what the mayor said, it was a very productive meeting today. And, you know, to Tom's point, I know, Tom Huffnagel, the person that spoke earlier, that sometimes it might seem like certain projects are just sitting there or certain issues are just sitting there while we are working tirelessly behind the scenes to see what can and will get done. We're a borough of 1 square mile and 9,000 people. And we're trying to deal with, PennDOT, that's a statewide organization, Conrail, which is $1 billion organization. And, we got FaceTime with the CEO of Conrail today, which was significant. And I would like to also say, Mr. Huffnagel was saying that our other local reps need to do more. And just want to set the record straight. I'm not at all advocating for one political party, one candidate, whatever it might be. But when it came to our PennDOT issue, State Senator Steve Sanacero was there front and center with us, meeting with PennDOT, and so was Tina Davis's office. And when it came to Conrail today, the Congressman Fitzpatrick was there. So, we get a lot of attention, number one, because we demand it. And we are, we will be a thorn in their sides until they hear us. And I think they already know that, which is why it's not so hard to get them to hear us. They know that we'll be relentless, and we are relentless with them. And we disagree with them on a lot of things. But our state reps and our congressmen have been lockstep with us to support the efforts that we're making to try to deal with these very large organizations who also, are very skilled at making it very difficult on local municipalities to get almost anything done when it comes to what it is that they're seeking. So, just wanted to reiterate that. So, and again, to that point, less than a month and a half, 2 months ago, I mentioned this before, but we had a meeting with PennDOT, with the director, I think it was Southeast Region Director of PennDOT, to show him all of the issues on Green Lane, and skilled in saying it's not their problem, but we are working to tell them that they're wrong about that. Also, and I didn't mean to interrupt the council president, but I had sent them some things earlier about what we were thinking about the tree lighting, and some of the timeline issues have changed. 2 of the people that have been helping with the tree lighting are actually here, Alan and Carla. And we have a nice organization of people that come from different areas of the borough and different mindsets of the borough, and we're putting together what we think is going to be a fun atmosphere. But what I would like to stress, I will get a graphic to the manager so he can put it up on the TV. We'll be getting flyers out. I would like to stress that I'll start from the end. The tree will be lit at 7 o'clock. Okay? So if you are only interested in seeing the tree be lit, that's what time it will be lit. 7 o'clock. The tree will be lit at 7. The festivities will start at 5 o'clock. So if you are looking for something fun to do with your family, it will be very kid-centric this year. Year by year, we're thinking we can kind of rotate themes. Last year was, homecoming Christmas, which was fun. And this year it's going to be A Christmas Story is the theme, because the theater is actually doing A Christmas Story, the play. So we've got some fun stuff lined up that is in coordination with that. We're going to have an ugly sweater contest for kids that can and adults that can roll up to the table and enter their entry of ugly sweater. We're having an ice sculptor who's going to be coming. That will start at 5 o'clock. We're going to have for lack of a better word, we're going to give you exactly what it's called soon. We're going to have a local kind of food court sort of Christmas village, which will be all local vendors, most of them from Mill Street. Just to give you some highlights, Tom Waters will be there, Papa's Pretzels will be there, the Forager will be there, Donna's Delicious Delights will be there, the cupcake store, the new cupcake store will be there. So we're keeping it very local, very street-centric, very Mill Street-centric. And so that will be going on as well. That will open at 5 as well. So the ice sculpture will start at 5. The village will be open at 5. We have a Christmas caroling group that will be walking around the village singing Christmas carols during that time frame. We then have a live performer, like a small band that's gonna start around 6:20. We have a DJ. We have kids that are doing a dance, all borough kids that are doing a dance that's led by Valeria Studios, which is right on Mill Street as well. Emma, the instructor there, is teaching them a dance every Sunday for the last 2 weeks and for the next 3. So it's gonna be a very kid-centric event. And we're gonna have a kind of special surprise lighting the tree. But the reason I wanted to start from the end is because I know there was a little confusion last year. The event was, I thought, great, but some people thought when they showed up that the tree would be lit and that they waited longer than they wanted. So if you're only looking for the tree lighting, it is at 7 o'clock. If you want to enjoy the festivities, they start at 5 and they go until the tree is lit. That's all I have. Thank you.
Brian,
Rec basketball registration is open. I believe it's open until the 20th. So last year we had like 180 kids. I think we have like 120 out that signed up now, so it's open, so that you can get out, register your kids.
And there's no fee for that, right?
No fee.
Okay.
What nights are we gonna run that, Brian?
It's gonna be Monday through Friday, but it's gonna be different locations. St. Mark's one night, and then 2 nights, Tuesday and Thursday, St. Mark's, and then one Saturday, the other nights.
Monday through Friday, Joe, both gyms are gonna be in action.
Okay, every night then.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let the PBA know.
and Saturdays.
Saturday is during the day.
Is that it?
Yes.
First of all, I want to tell you, I just want to personally thank you for all you're doing, because I know you're putting a lot of time into this rec program with the Recreation Board that's doing an outstanding job, working together with different organizations. I know that the football program is doing an outstanding job. They're all happy. We put some lights up for them, working together with the school board. So I think right now, we're running on all cylinders and everybody's happy, so we're doing everything we can to keep moving everything in the right direction, and I know you're a major player in what's going on,
Yes, he is.
so thank you.
Thank you,
Maria?
Lauren.
I have nothing.
Louis?
Just want to mention, I won't be here for Wednesday's budget meeting, I have a commitment out of town, so I don't, not that I'm avoiding reviewing the budget. And I want to mention that Bristol High School's girls and boys cross-country teams were at the state championships this year, past Saturday, which is really an honor. And I want to thank the Historic Society for a very successful Bristol Day. And after Bristol Day, the Friends of Burlington Island had a fundraiser in town. It was very successful. It's good that we're involved with watching how the island is treated. I forgot the date. The AOC is on.
Sorry, that microphone got turned. Can you put it towards you?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks. The AOC is honoring their assistant of the year is Pat Mulhern, and they're also honoring 3 teachers, one from the elementary school, one from the middle school, and one from the high school. And I forget the specifics of it. I looked at the ticket before I came here and didn't check the date. But,
The date is the 18th, I do know that. I don't know the time.
Thank you. And you can probably have it posted on our website. So I think it's just $60 and all going to the AOC. The only thing I had to mention is I had a couple of people question me about the rental inspections. Like you have to do it every 2 years, and we had that conversation, and somebody mentioned we should do it annually, which I'm opposed to, but someone's telling people that it's going to be done annually. If it is, it's without council's approval, because I don't miss many meetings, and we never voted on that, so whoever is saying it's an annual inspection from here on, I think they should cease doing that until that is the case. That's all I have for tonight.
There are no, right now it's a biannual inspection. There's been no authorization from this council or anybody to say we're going back to a yearly inspection. Something we could talk about, but there's been no decision made.
But it was like that when we started.
Right. Michael?
Yes, I just wanted to first say to everyone, please get out and vote. It matters to do that regardless of if you think something's already in place or it's going to happen, still being out and vote is so important, and we see that. Also, continue to keep historic Bristol Borough beautiful. It's a wonderful town, it's a beautiful town, especially with the holidays coming up all through the year now. We're kind of in the microscope, but I mean even more so for the holidays, because a lot of people come here and do their shopping. With that in mind, the decorations that were up that are awesome for Halloween and the fall, just keep in mind that, let's take those down so that the Christmas ones. Oh, no, I don't mean, I wasn't correct, I was just saying in general, I'm sorry.
No, they were taken down today, though.
Thank you. No, I just mean in general, like personal homes and things like that, because Christmas is coming, so we don't want to have Christmas turkey, Halloween, witch, and monster. That's all, just a reminder, not a judgment, just a reminder, thank you. And lastly, all the groups, like the young ladies that are here, the Historic Society, the Police Department, the safety, fire and safety, just thank you for keeping us safe and always making us look better. And thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Betty asked me.
Mr. Dillon, I just got a text a few minutes ago. There's a light out on Buckley Street by 114. The address is 114 Buckley Street. It's been out for a little while. If someone can please take care of that. Also, there's a dead deer on Route 13 by Sloan's in that shopping center. It's right, I don't know who would take care of that. It's on the highway on Route 13, but it's been there dead for a couple days. So I don't know who to call about that, if you can help me or direct me. Let me see. Also, to our chief. Apparently, I can email you the woman's name and address and phone number, but she's saying there's a lot of traffic when the kids are entering the school on Buckley Street, off of Buckley Street. She said she's addressed it before, but she doesn't feel like anything's being done, and cars are flying in that neighborhood in the morning, and she's afraid that someone's going to get hurt. If we could look into that area, and I'd appreciate it. Also, Mr. Dillon, Reverend Thomas DeShields from Otter Street, Otter and Maple, he wanted to know if we were going to do anything for the ponding in that area. I know we talked about it before, and I apologize if we had already taken care of it, but he said he was waiting to hear from Kevin and hadn't heard anything from Kevin. And last but not least, please get out and vote and support our council, who's worked very hard for many, many years to keep this town going in the right direction, and our mayor, of course. So please come out and support everybody tomorrow. You're welcome.
Mr. Dillon.
I'm not aware of going to once a year inspection, by the way. I don't know where that rumor started.
I think it was in the beginning, yeah, I never heard about going back, but I know in the beginning that's how we started it. But that was 18.
You know, at the moment.
Yeah.
Anyhow, consider providing a recommendation to the Delaware Canal State Park Advisory Committee to replace Donald McCluskey, who's resigned. I think council should consider coming up with a name to make that appointment, because it's an important body to keep an eye on the canal, and, keep a voice from the borough in there. Council can only make a recommendation that's got to be accepted by the state, so it's just something that I think you should consider. In your packet is a proposed resolution updating the borough street and sidewalk permit fees. It calls for an increase in the fees, so I'd like the council to consider adopting that at your meeting next week. The engineer has reviewed, and this is their recommendations. So if you have any questions between now and Monday, we'll happy to try and answer them. Also, there's some appointments needed for the Police Civilian Complaint Review Board. A number of people have left the area, retired, whatever, and this is a board that we may need to call to meet in the next month or so. Also in your packet was a draft mutual aid agreement between municipalities for public works. It was put out, I believe, by Middletown, and it involves Ben Salem, ourselves, Bristol Township, etc. It seems like a reasonable agreement, but I didn't want to pursue it any further unless council did not want us to pursue that. So if you can maybe give us some guidance in the next 30 days. But we've had the solicitor look at it, plus our insurance company, and they made some comments, and I passed it on to that group. I think the agreement has some benefits for all the municipalities working together in terms of the public works departments. And I have one other issue, proposed resolution to submit an application for a grant in the amount of $979,000 for the old Route 13 realignment. Maybe in your packet was a copy of the plan. Maybe the engineer can just give us a couple words to the public as to what the issue is. We have the PUC telling us that we have to fix this culvert along with Bristol Township, which may cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, but this is a way to, possibly get around that issue. So, Amanda, if you could say a few words, please.
So this is the bridge on Old Route 13 where it crosses over Otter Creek. That actually is the municipal border between Bristol Borough and Bristol Township. And I'm sure everybody knows the train tracks are also on that bridge as well. So there's some concerns and confusion over who actually owns that bridge. We've done some extensive research over the years, and it appears that it should be Conrail's ownership, but of course, as Mr. Pezza alluded to, Conrail's a little bit difficult to deal with at times, and has essentially said that they want no part in taking responsibility in maintaining that bridge. So the resolution before you is for a realignment of Old Route 13 to essentially make a T intersection into Otter Street. That would also help alleviate some of the traffic concerns at the intersection where it is now, not exactly being a 90-degree intersection. So would realign that road with Otter Street and have pedestrian-only traffic via a multi-use trail on the old Route 13 bridge. So if there's any
Does anybody have any questions for Amanda?
Does Conrail use that bridge?
They do not.
They do not.
And we have asked if they would be interested in abandoning the rail line, and they said at that time they were not interested in giving up ownership of that rail space.
And then there will only be one entrance to south.
Correct, yeah, that Dow entrance would need to be modified a bit, but would still remain largely in the same space, place it is now. We did discuss it with them at one point, a bit ago, nothing formally, but I think that we could work that out with them. Again, because it's largely in the same place, it would just be a minor modification.
So Amanda, this road where it says the Welcome to Bristol Borough sign, so instead of being that kind of awkward turn in front of it, it's gonna go wrap around behind it. Is
Right,
that right?
you'd make kind of a harder right turn coming out of the borough to a traffic signal, so that you would then make a 90-degree left turn onto Otter Street.
Any more questions? So while you're at the podium, just I want to go back to something earlier about grants. Grants are specific when they come out. Like people say, and Tom said earlier, why don't we take that money and do something else? That's not how it works. And I don't understand, I've been saying it for years, why people don't get it. There's a grant that comes out that says this money, just like this grant from State Senator Steve Sanacera, $130,000. That grant
1.3 million.
was 1.3 million. That grant was specific to do the demolition and acquisition of Chestnut Street. That was like an urban development grant or something. There's grants, like they'll say, well, why don't you use it for the baseball fields? Well, because you can't. Just like this grant we're talking about tonight, or the other grants that are on our thing. They're specific for projects. The state puts out something that says, we're gonna put $10 million in the state of Pennsylvania for roads. Well, why shouldn't the borough apply for it? And the taxpayers should be happy we're getting it. Not saying, well, it's taxpayers' money, because if we don't get it, it's gone to Pittsburgh, or it's gone to another county in Bucks or in the state of Pennsylvania. So because of our relationships with our state senator and our state rep and our congressman, we're successful in getting grants, just like our county commissioners. We get ADA money from them every year to do grants, curb ramps. So when, it's frustrating that you gotta keep explaining why, why you spending this money for this or why you spending it for that. Just like when we did the docks, that money was going to Pittsburgh. If we didn't get that money, if Tommy Tomlinson didn't come in and Mike Fitzpatrick and a couple people at the time, there wouldn't be docks out there. But and John Galloway came in and helped. If it wasn't for them, that money was definitely going to Pittsburgh. So it wasn't that, well, we're not getting it. No, that money's being spent. So everybody in this town should be happy that we have this council and mayor and manager has a great relationship with our state and local officials. Because you could hire all the grant writers you want. When I first got on council, we had a guy that just wrote grants, and he got 10 or 20% of the grant. So if you got $1 million, he got 150,000, or he got 200,000 to write this grant. We pay zero to write grants because we know what we're doing. So it's frustrating, but I understand everybody doesn't understand what's going on. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? That grant was specific for what we got it for. And if Bristol Borough didn't get that grant, it may have went to Bristol Township, or it may have went to Falls Township, or somebody else that's doing that kind of work. So again, this council is doing a hell of a job, and I commend you on everything. And like my son said, tomorrow is election day. And this council and anybody home that's watching this meeting should go out, whether you're unopposed or not, and it's a vote of confidence to say, I want to vote for Greg Pezzett tomorrow, or Brian Johnson, or Louis Catroci, or Lee Cousin, because these people are going to do the right thing for Bristol, and the mayor is doing a great job with the police department. I'm not running, so I'm not on a ballot, and I can say what I want to say, but I think the taxpayers tomorrow in this town should go out and support this council. And if there's nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn. Second, meeting adjourned.